Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I'm going to share with you how to make cheesecake pops. This is a super simple recipe. It's a pretty easy technique. It's not a lot of ingredients, but it makes this awesome little bundle of like cheesecake goodness. They're definitely a family favorite of ours, and especially if you have cheesecake lovers in your family, you've got to make this for your Thanksgiving. Now this video is actually a part of a collab that was put on by Amanda over at the Fundamental Home and Tangi with Freedom Homestead. So I'm going to leave their channels down below. Make sure you go check them out and subscribe to them if you haven't already. And there are a ton of channels that are doing this collab. They've been doing it all week, anywhere from appetizers to main courses, desserts. So I'm going to list all of their channels down below with their videos. Make sure you go check them out, especially if you're needing some additional ideas for Thanksgiving or some new recipes. So I'm gonna go ahead and share with you how I make these cheesecake pops. Okay, so here's everything you're gonna need for the cheesecake pops, starting off over here with 2 cups of dark chocolate chips. I'm just using Nestle, but of course you can use any brand that you like. And then some coconut oil to melt down with the chocolate so you can dip the cheesecake pops in it. And then here are the toppings I'm gonna use, just some brownies and some walnuts, and then some pumpkin pie. A tip for the pumpkin pie is just to pop it in the freezer for probably half an hour before you cut it up, because pumpkin pie is a little, sticky, and so you want to be able to cut it into nice little squares and not, get all messy and everything. So just pop it in the freezer for a little bit and you can cut it easier. I also have some Kit Kats here. I might chop up a few of these and put those on top. And then here's my cheesecake. So of course there's a huge ugly crack in it, but I guess it doesn't matter because I'm going to be tearing this up anyway. I just made a New York style cheesecake. I will leave the video down below where I got the recipe, which is from Chef John. He has a channel here on YouTube and he's awesome. So all I did basically was make the cheesecake without the crust. That way I can just scoop out the guts of it and make the little pops. And I'm just going to use one of these little, it's technically an ice cream scoop, but people use these for like cookies and for things like this. Then I have the forks to dip the cheesecake pops into the chocolate. And then I have one of these mats over here to place the cheesecake pops on. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start assembling everything. Okay, so as you can see, it made about 24 of the little cheesecake pops, and all I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna put them directly in the freezer to let them firm up a little bit, and I'll probably leave them in there for maybe an hour or so. After that, I can roll them, because right now they're still a little sticky, and I can roll them and I can dip them easily without making too big of a mess. So I'm gonna go ahead and go pop these in the freezer. Okay, so the cheesecake pops are ready to be dipped. I had them in the freezer for probably half an hour. And I just picked them up and I rolled them in my hands to make them nice and smooth. So here's the dark chocolate that I melted down with the coconut oil, and I'm just gonna toss them in there and coat them. Thing is once you're done decorating them, you need to get them back in the freezer because they're going to come down to room temperature pretty quickly, and you want this chocolate to harden up by getting chilled. So I'm just going to go ahead and dip the rest of these and put the toppings on them and put them in the freezer to let them firm up, and then I'll show you the final product. Okay, so here is the final product. So you can store these 2 different ways. You can make them a day or 2 before Thanksgiving and just keep them in the refrigerator, or you can do how I'm doing and make them several weeks before Thanksgiving and freeze them. You would just need to take them out a day or 2 before Thanksgiving and keep them in the fridge. That way they can come up in temperature a little bit and, obviously not be frozen. But I just put these in these little white cupcake liners, because typically, you know, with Thanksgiving, people kind of overindulge in the food and like the appetizers and things like that. So when they get to dessert, sometimes people only want like a little bit. So these are perfect in my opinion because they're small portions, but they're still like super sweet and super rich. So they definitely get that like the sweet tooth factor, but it's not just this huge, you know, slice of cheesecake. So we really like these. These are a huge hit. And I cut this one in half so you can kind of see the inside of it. As you can see, it's this nice, huge chunk of cheesecake that's coated in chocolate. So definitely would recommend these because they usually go pretty fast at our house. So there they are. So as you can see, it's a pretty simple recipe. There's not a lot of steps involved, and it's one of those recipes that you can do a lot of different things with. If you don't want the regular plain cheesecake, you can do pumpkin cheesecake. I've done raspberry cheesecake before. As far as toppings, you can do, like I've done before in the past, Reese's peanut butter cups. I've just chopped them up and drizzled them on top, as well as like other candies. If you want to be extra festive, you can get some fall sprinkles and like put those on top. And it's just one of those recipes, again, you can do a lot of different things with, and everyone will really like it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, please make sure you go check out all the other channels that participated in this collab. And thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.